Welcome to the Jet. I'm America Young, and you are here with me today because there is desire in your heart to work on a private jet or in aviation altogether. I just want to let you know that I hear you. I hear that deep desire, and I know what it's like to start from somewhere where, you're working a job at the moment where you're going, this just doesn't fulfill me. There's no life-giving anything about my current career path or my current life path. So I want to let you know that it is absolutely possible to go from that feeling of being stuck or just not being able to move up to that next level and breaking free of that and getting into aviation. So here's my story. In 2008, I graduated from college and started working for an engineer, but I knew this was not what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, but for the moment, it was going to be okay. By 2010, I knew that working this office job was no longer what I wanted, and I had heard of other people who were working for the airlines, so I thought, well, let's give that a try. Working as a flight attendant would be awesome. So I decided I'm gonna look up jobs for flight attendants. So I sat down on the living room floor, just like this with my laptop, and started Googling companies that were hiring flight attendants. And there wasn't one. Nobody was hiring. Since 2001 with 9/11 and then the economy crash in 2008, people just were not hiring anything in aviation. So closed my laptop, laid back on the floor, and thought to myself, it's just not gonna happen. There's just no jobs out there. And I just cried because I thought, how on earth am I gonna get out of here and find a job that will bring me any kind of adventure or satisfaction that I am looking for? Then in 2012, 2 years later, the airlines finally started hiring flight attendants again. And in April of 2013, I started my class with US Airways. Flying across the country and even part across the world with the airlines was one of the coolest things that I'd ever done. But you were poor as a church mouse, you were completely worn out, and I remember sitting in my jump seat at one time and just having tears flowing down my eyes going, I wanted adventure, but this is still not it. I don't know what I'm doing with my life, but this is not what I want. That's when I decided I wanted to take flying lessons to add a little bit more intrigue to this whole aviation thing. I am so thankful to flying lessons because from there I was in and out of the FBO, or what we call fixed base operator, and I got to see all these private jets flying in and out of the airport and the crews coming in and out. And previous to this, I just thought private aviation was this little small community and it was just this little thing that you did to get to the airlines. I didn't realize how massive this community was and how many opportunities there were. So from there, I figured I need to get into the world of private aviation. I applied to probably half a dozen companies, places like NetJets, FlexJet, and nobody would give me a call back. I couldn't believe it. So while I was working for the airlines and I spotted people in the seats with badges on for other private charter companies, something that was not airlines, I would approach them and let them know, hey, I would love to be working for a company like you do. Does your company use flight attendants at all? And some of them would say, no, like it's too small of an airplane, we don't use flight attendants. And others would say, yes. And I said, would you mind if I gave you my resume, or do you mind passing my name along to somebody who is a hiring personnel within your company? And most of the time they would say yes. So I would stay in contact with them via email or over text messaging. And it was all about creating a community. It was all about creating relationships with these other people who were in private aviation. But most importantly, I want to know where you are at within your journey of becoming a flight attendant, with working in private aviation. Tell me, are you stuck in that 9-to-5 job, in that gray cube sitting in front of that computer where nothing changes? Have you started applying to companies? Have you taken your FACS training yet? Or are you waiting for that next interview for a future company? Anyways, let me know where you are at. It actually took me physically walking into the hangars or the offices of some of these companies and handing in my resume to get any kind of phone call back. Plus, I would every month follow up with them. Hey guys, this is my availability. This is my certification. I'm ready whenever you need me. From there, all it took was one company to call and give me a chance on a private jet. And then from there, I was able to tell other people that I had experience on private jets, not just airlines, but on private jets. And from there, everything just seemed to blossom. I contracted for several weeks, actually a couple of months. And then from there, I was able to get my first full-time job on a private jet. Just remember that the sky is not the limit. It is just the beginning.